Hello, futuros cash libres. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk to you about why I took a break from social media and coaching and what I learned from it. Okay. So, if you have been with me for a while, you know that I have been hustling and working on the business, my financial freedom journey, my upcoming book, motherhood, and so many things. So, at the beginning of last year, I was working with my coach and I started talking to her about how I really wanted to plan an intentional 30 days of social media and even coaching, and how I needed to work on the systems, the processes, and the mindset to make that happen. And I finally did it. So this year, I had the opportunity to finally take 30 days off from social media and coaching. And I want to tell you why I did it, as well as some of the things that I've learned along the way. Okay. So, first of all, I also want to share with you that July 2025 has been one of my highest revenue months since I started my business, which is crazy because you will think that in order to make money, you need to work and hustle more. And for me, it was the opposite. And I can't wait to share more. Okay. So let's talk about why I decided to do it. So the reason why I wanted to take this time off was because I really want to bring Cash Libre to life. And there is a process when it comes to writing the book, producing the book, planning the launch of a book, of course, dealing with the mindset that comes with you having more visibility. A lot of you tell me like, oh my God, you're so natural just showing up online and talking about your journey, but there's a different type of exposure that comes with having a book. And so I wanted to intentionally plan about what is coming up for me for next year, as well as honoring the stage of my journey where I am, where a lot of you are, which is we don't know what the heck is going on right now. There's so much happening in the US, abroad. And so I wanted to just unplug so I didn't have to look at my phone and just be present, because it's so easy for all of us, including me, to dysregulate our nervous system, to be afraid, to be upset, to be angry, to feel like there's not a lot that we can do, but also at the same time feel like we have to do everything. And so I really wanted to just unplug from everything and also focus on the things that I could do. So for the month of July, another thing that I did behind the scenes that I didn't want to make a post on social media about it was we decided to donate money to organizations that are helping our immigrant community. And so I wanted to do that, but I also didn't feel like I had to perform and post it on social media. A lot of you, through the newsletter Cash Libre, decided to invest in the course. So investing for Latinas 101, in the money that you'll spend through Say All Well, we also decided to donate the money back to the organizations that are doing a lot of the work. Okay. So another thing that I decided to do was prioritizing my mental health. And so how I decided to essentially take a break from social media was I really just want to focus on the things that I have control on, because I was probably like you, scrolling on social media, thinking about all the horrible things that are happening by the minute. And eventually I said, what am I doing? Like, I care so much about our community. I care so much about my local community. I care so much about everything, but what about me? And I realized that I was losing sleep over everything that is happening. You're probably going through the same. And so eventually I have to say, I really need to just remove myself from what's happening, not because I don't care, but because la lucha es larga. And I think once I say that to myself, I was like, okay, you really need to focus on your health. And so one of the things that I started to doing to prioritize my mental health, in addition to stop consuming social media, was I decided to start a new workout routine where now I'm waking up at 4:30 to be at the gym by 4:50 and just focusing on working out. Like, anytime throughout my life when there's situations where I don't feel in control or where I'm just nervous about everything that is happening because it's so much, For me personally, like working out and moving my body really helps me. And so I started a new workout routine thanks to a friend that suggested a new gym membership. She's like, hey, this is why I go. This is what I learned. And I have a gym membership, by the way, already elsewhere. But I decided, why not? Why not try something new? And I'm not recommending that you personally go and have two gym memberships if you don't use them. But I said, what if this new membership is not about my family's overall health, but it's about my health? So I decided to invest in this new membership. Is $87 a month in addition to the one that I already have. It has different benefits, and I'm really glad that I did because I love it and I'm showing up for myself. On that note, the other thing that I did was focus on in-person connections. Okay, so let me ask you this: when was the last time that you reach out to someone and say, hey, let's meet up for cafecito, let's go have a drink? If you're 21 and over, of course, let's just have a potluck, let's go to the park, let's go on a walk. And so I did a lot of in-person connections because community is currency right now. So if you are feeling a little bit of disconnection or upset or angry, like try connecting with people because that truly helps right now. Okay, I made up a list, so I'm reading the things that I did because I didn't want to miss anything. Okay, the other thing that I decided to do was I'm always telling you guys, prioritize your financial wellness. Make sure that you know your numbers. Make sure that you know where you are financially. And financial wellness right now is more important than ever, okay? And so I said, well, I'm telling my girls to do these, but what about me? And so this whole month, I prioritize my financial wellness more than ever. I started looking at my investments. I started looking at my fire number, how close I am, what are the things that I need to have ready for the next 5 years? Do I need to increase my investments? Do I need to increase my savings? Do I need to rethink my spending? And I did a lot of that. I did a lot of rethinking my spending, not in terms of no quiero gastar o no debo de gastar, but in terms of what is the overall value on these things, right? Because of course, when there is so much going on, I don't know how you cope with it, but the way I do it is I look at shopping as a almost like therapy. And I said, no, like I'm going backwards. And so do I really want to buy things? And in some cases, yeah, I wanted to buy certain things, but in other cases, I was thinking, no, I don't need to buy something else that I already have simply because I'm bored, right? And so right now, when we're going through so much, this might be also an opportunity for you to say, am I spending money because I feel anxious? And what if I can just move my body, right? So I did a lot of that. I also focus on applying for new programs. I applied for a couple of programs that have to do with finances, and that's all I'm going to say right now. But let me tell you, I decided to get certified in finanzas. I'll make a whole another episode on this, but this is different. Okay. It's not finances like for the US, it's finances elsewhere. And I was so excited that I went through the program. I was able to pass and get my certification, and I cannot wait to share more of that. But that's another thing that I realized that I do in times of uncertainty, in times of things are weird. Like I always come back to learning, not from a place of I have to prepare myself, but from a place of knowledge distracts me from scrolling on social media. And so I was able to do that as well, which I'm super excited. I attended a couple conferences online for educators, which I'm really glad I did that because I learned new teaching techniques, new ways to get everyone involved through the programs that I have, which is the Say Hola Wealth Academy and Jefas and Well Mastermind. And on that note, we took a break from the Say Hola Wealth Academy for the whole month of July. So the members that I have there have been really, really amazing at showing up since last December when I opened the program. And so December, January, and all the way to June, we were working and learning and making investment moves, working on mindset, working on decisions. And I did feel a little bit of guilt for not being available for my clients to hold space for them. During these times, a lot of my clients are first generation Latinas. Some of them live in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, here locally too. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, should I check in on them? But I said, no, you have to keep a promise to yourself, because that's a promise that I made to myself and also to my family. I talked to my husband and said, hey, next year, 2025, I'm going to be taking the whole month off. And I think for him, even seeing that I did follow through and seeing that I made myself available to be a better wife, to be a better mom, to prioritize my mental health was such a nice thing. And we really needed that as well. And so another thing that we decided to do was my girls, as you all know, I have two little girls. They're not so little. They're 5 and 7 now. So I decided to focus on helping them with putting them in swimming lessons and taking them to swimming lessons. There was a time where my husband was doing the majority of the work, because I also got hurt, by the way, during my 30 days of social media. So I wasn't able to take them. But then after that, I said, we just need to prioritize rest and enjoying what we built. And there is a little bit of guilt that comes with that, right? When you see that, oh my God, I have the luxury of taking time off from work. I have the luxury of going on a boat that we didn't get to use last year a whole lot because we were working, but we really needed that. And so I said, I already communicated with my clients that we are taking a break from the academy for 30 days. And I'm glad I did, because I know that my clients were also focusing on themselves and serving their community and being present with their kids and being present with their amigas. And so I was glad that we were able to do that. Okay. Let me check my list real quick. Another thing that I did was plan an in-person event that is happening next month. And I didn't plan that event when I was off. I actually planned it at the beginning of the year. So one of the things that I do as a business owner, and if you're a business owner listening, or even if you're not a business owner, but you want to connect with people and even create an event, is have the idea at the beginning of the year or even a year before, so you can start doing a small task every day. So the event that I'm hosting coming up is titled Raíces y Reinas. And I wanted to create this event as a way to connect with our roots, which I'm like, I think there was something because with everything happening, sometimes we don't feel safe being who we are. And so the idea came last year, and I wanted to create this event, but I didn't want to do it alone. Like I love being the center of attention, but I also don't love being the center of attention. And so I decided, how can I invite other Latina leaders to come with me and talk about their journey? All of these connections that I made and the speakers that you will see, those are people that I met through local community connections, inviting them to be part of some other events, going out to coffee with them, going out to have dinner with them. And a couple of them, some mis amigas in real life. And so I'm also excited to bring them with me, because that is what we need to see more of, unity, community over competition. And the event is going to be amazing. We have people coming from California. We have people coming from Portland, Seattle, obviously Tri-Cities, which is where I'm hosting the event. And so there are so many people coming just to that event.